Good morning. Today, on my way into work and back from work, we're going to take the Apollo Phantom, and I'll take you guys along, show you how it is. I have commuted on it before, but only a few times, like less than one hand. So, should be fun. And we're off. Just had to check, make sure the angle of the GoPro was good enough for you guys to see the visuals here of my commute. And now it's 7:32. And I'm off to work. This thing just gets up to speed so nicely. Like, this is a slight incline right here. And it's no problem for it. I'm on gear 3. In the first video of this scooter, I did talk about how I was just using gear 1 and 2 for that video. But really now I've found myself just using 3 for the most part. One thing I did want to mention is that in Colorado, the governor of Colorado, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, passed a law where you can roll through stop signs if you're a bicycle or an electric scooter, e-bike. As long as it's below 10 miles per hour, you can treat them as sort of a yield sign. So for those of you watching this, it'll be like you're supposed to stop at stop signs. I do kind of come to a slower speed, and then I will cruise through them at well below 10 miles per hour. So here we are on the Rock Island Trail now. Definitely on trails is one of the times where you want to prioritize etiquette. At least I do. I do not want to sneak up on someone. I ring the bell if I'm going to be passing someone. It does have an integrated bell here. So there's a pedestrian here, which I will show you what I mean. I also really slow down. I think it's pretty rude to fly by people. One thing I've noticed with the Apollo Phantom, and I guess any e-scooter really, is just how nice it is to commute on, because you're standing straight up. Your visuals are not impaired by anything. Like, you're not low to the ground, so you can actually see quite a lot. I need to measure this, but I'm pretty sure I am standing higher, like visually, than I would be sitting in my truck right now. Maybe not, I don't know. It's very close. But I obviously don't have like the body of a vehicle around me impeding vision and stuff like that. Just my helmet. We're crossing Shelton here. This thing is just so fun to ride. And I will say I was kind of tentative about the speed before. I was a little bit afraid, to be honest. I'm not a big speed freak. But it's just so stable at high speeds that it kind of washed those fears away. I thought I would be, when you think of scooter, you think of traditional like razor scooter without a motor, you know, and just how maneuverable the steering is. And for good reason, this is not like that. You're not going to be doing bar spins with this. but you are going to be cruising at a decent speed, and so they've designed it for that, which is just so nice. Got a nice sunrise over there. Here we come up on Academy. And this is the extension of the Rock Island here, which is kind of like a two-way bike path. I know in my past videos, people have said, oh, this is not, you're going the wrong way on a sidewalk. This is wide enough for a purpose, even though there is no trail signs or path signs on this. I'm pretty sure it's a bike path, bike trail, because that side of Academy is missing some sidewalk in some segments. And so everyone who I've seen commute or walk up and down Academy goes on this side of the bike path, or this side of the road, whether you are going up it like I am right now or down it with traffic. This is like the biggest iffy point where I will merge on the road, just because at least with this speed it's safer. And get onto this lane. Pump the brakes here. And go. That little stretch with a bicycle, it's way easier to just stay on the curb, just because you don't know. It's really not that long of a stretch. But cars right after that light want to get going at 30 right away. And on a bike, you can't keep up with them. But on this, you can, especially because it is just not that long of a stretch. Back to what I was saying about stature and stance on this. That is one of the nicest things, is you can see drivers like dead in the eye. I'm constantly trying to make eye contact with drivers and just trying to observe what they're doing. If they have both hands on the steering wheel, if they have one hand on a phone, things like that. And good rule of thumb, just like when I ride a bicycle, is just assume that everyone is on their phone. Alright, gonna be coming into work here, so I will check back in with you guys after work. And we'll chat some more. So here we are after work. Heading back home now, through the neighborhood. Pretty good day at work. Just professional development, so just things with adults today, no teaching. Not too shabby. One of the things that I found in riding this scooter is your stance. Oh gosh, that guy always gets me. Halloween decorations. Like I ride goofy, so right foot forward instead of left foot. However, the foot that feels the most fatigued after a little while of riding is actually your rear foot, in my experience, because the throttle just kind of pulls you back on the scooter and you have to kind of catch yourself with your rear leg. So that left leg for me is the one that feels most of the weight. But it's really not too bad. On a super long ride, I could see it being a problem. But I'm usually just taking this thing, less than 10 miles, 10-ish miles. My commute to work is 4 miles, so it's actually way shorter than that. But I have ridden this thing across town from work all the way to my son's soccer practice one day, which I think was like 12 miles or so. That was my longest ride. And yeah, I mean, I didn't feel too bad after that one. Here's a really tricky intersection where I do kind of just go onto this sidewalk. You definitely just post up in the left turning lane there, but you also might get this green light go. And back on this trail. That is one of the nicest things about this, is how you can hop on trails and be A-OK accepted. Living here in Colorado Springs, you definitely see people on motorbikes and on mopeds. Mopeds are like the biggest lawbreakers when it comes to that. You'll see them on trails. Things like Vespas and things that are not supposed to be on trails, but I think people just feel more comfortable riding them on trails, so they end up being on trails. But yeah, you're not supposed to see them on trails at all. But something like this e-scooter is definitely welcomed on the trails, obviously respecting the speed limits and things like that. The scooter does offer push to start, which means you kind of have to push the scooter, scoot the scooter forward, and then start, which is how I have it. You can change that in the settings to where it's just throttle, like you can just throttle it from 0 and go. The reason I haven't chosen to go that route is because I don't want to accidentally be at a stop and, you know, for whatever reason my thumb just like pushes the throttle and the scooter just launches, because it will just try to take off. I also don't want the throttle to be activated without a push to start. And maybe I'm overthinking this, but if my scooter's locked up somewhere, I don't want someone to be able to turn on the scooter and just throttle the wheels like as it's sitting there on a bike rack. You know, pushing to start would make that really hard to even start the scooter because it's locked and you can't push it without the lock stopping the scooter from going, if that makes sense. One of the things I forgot to mention in the first video is that it does come with this integrated bell on the left brake lever, and it's kind of like a trigger bell. So you just pull with your left index finger and you're good to go. It's a pretty nice bell. I still gotta say, the overall feel of this scooter is phenomenal. And I feel like it'll only get better once the shocks really break in. The regen brake's so good, so quiet and efficient. Let's see, where should I go? We'll go this way. I have not touched the settings on the app at all. It's just been stock. So I don't even know what I'm at as far as regen brake and throttle goes. So I'll have to play with that for the next video. But I actually really like where they're at right now. and I've gotten used to the sensitivity of each one. So I don't know how much I would change it even after checking them out. I think I'd just be interested to see like if the numbers that they run stock are high or low. We'll go right here. We'll go pin it on third gear, see how fast we can get going. There is quite a bit of headwind right here. "63 kilometers per hour. That's in gear 3. And again, I am no speed freak. Oh dang, look at these fall leaves. I used to love longboarding and stuff in the fall. Just because you would cruise through the leaves. Yeah, I'm no speed freak. It just feels comfortable to pick up speed in this. You do not feel like it's a hassle at all. Even this is like a little hill right before the house. It can just cruise up at 50 kilometers per hour almost. So that is it for the Commute. It feels like a no-brainer to me to take this instead of a vehicle. See you guys in the next one.